I wish good things to you who's watching this. I am Alexey and you are about to witness one of the most incredible Carcassonne endgames ever. This is episode 9 of Carcassonne Move of the Week, a series of videos in which I showcase the most spectacular play from the currently ongoing World Cup of Carcassonne. Week 9 was the quarterfinals. Team Romania is playing against Team Latvia. On table 2, the reigning individual Carcassonne world champion Arpad Gere of Romania, with a screen name Girapa, is playing the green meeples against Maris Lazdench of Latvia, who has the screen name Only Denver and the red meeples. At first sight, green is doing great with 13 extra points on the scoreboard and a meeple to spare. However, if we add up the points from the features on the board, we find out that green is actually trailing by 14 points. The meeple situation is also not that great for green. Most of green's meeples are blocked, while red can easily get 2 meeples back by completing these monasteries, and there are still plenty of tiles in the deck with which red can do so. So it is an uphill battle for the Romanian player, but with the horizontal city splitter tile that he currently has in hand, he is about to start a devious comeback plan. If you believe you're a Carcassonne master, pause the video right here, try to find the winning idea for green, and let me know in the comments what you would play in this position. But for the rest of you, I'ma reveal the move in 3, 2, 1. One thing that green could do is take advantage of the fact that he's controlling a small field. If he drops the splitter tile here, this will add more city caps into his field, which could in the future translate into completed cities, which would give green up to 6 more field points. Dropping the splitter into one's own field is a well-known tactic, and almost any expert player would play this move automatically. But, as you may have guessed, green doesn't do that. Instead, he drops this city tile over here, far away from the field. This move may look puzzling to some of you, but in about 10 moves, you will see why the Romanian player chose to do so. I'm just going to show you the remainder of the game. So red here gets a monastery meeple back. Green scores some city points, also adds 3 points to his field. Red scores some points himself. Green scores some road points. Red gets a monastery and just drops it. Now green plays another brilliant move. He drops this tile over here. Again, you will see the idea a little bit later. Here red scores another 4 points for a city. Green now plays yet another brilliant move, dropping this tile over here. Red finishes his monastery and also meeples a 3-point road. And here comes the final key moment. Green's position hasn't improved at all in the last few moves. In fact, he's now 16 points down and has only 2 moves left to play. But actually, in this position, he has 1 move, and 1 move only, that gives him a 33% chance of winning the game. So he has this curve in hand to play, and after he does so, red will play the tile he has in hand, then green will draw another tile and play it, then red will draw the final tile and play it. So there are 3 unknown tiles from green's perspective here. Pause the video if you'd like to find the best move yourself, but if you're just keen to see what happened, I'ma reveal the answer in 3, 2, 1. Green places this curve over here and places his last meeple on a 6-point field. Green is still trailing by 10 points, and now red draws the quadruple city tile. This is the tile that green really needed to unite his 1-point city meeple with red's 11-point city meeple, negating the 10-point difference. But red, of course, is not going to put this tile here. But wait a minute! Where is he going to put it instead? To his shock, Red now realized that there is no other place on the board where this tile would fit. And in Carcassonne, you're not allowed to skip a turn. If you have a legal move, you must play it. So the Latvian player is forced to help his opponent. After a minute or so of staring at the board in a futile attempt to delay his inevitable demise, he places this tile over here, completing what has now become a shared city. So with his own hands, Red gave Green 10 points for sharing the city, 3 additional field points for Green's farmer that was touching his city, and a meeple for Green to use on his last move. Eagerly, the Romanian player uses his newly freed meeple to claim a 4-point road. Red scores a 6-point field in the center, but it's not going to be enough. Because after all the points are counted, it is Green who wins the game by exactly 1 point. If we now go back to the original position, you can see the idea behind Green's move with the city splitter. He was making sure that by the time the quadruple city tile is drawn, there is no square on the board where it would fit, other than in the center of the big city, right where Green needs it. And if I reveal the remaining tiles at this point, you can see that even if Red were to recognize what Green is trying to do, it is something very hard to counter. Red would need to draw another city tile and then spend a move on placing it somewhere out in the open just to create a square where the quadruple city tile would legally fit. But then Green could draw a road tile, for example, and simply block that newly created square. None of that happened, and you can see how with his subsequent city tile moves, such as this one and this one, Green succeeded in keeping the position closed and setting up the forced quadruple city tile on his opponent's move. Which brings us to the final detail that makes this ending so incredible. In this position, when Green placed his final meeple for 6 field points, he does not win if he draws the quadruple city tile himself. Of course, he would still place it in the same place where Red placed it, giving him the same 13 points. But then, Green would not have had the time to meeple that final 4-point road. Green was so far behind that he needed not only to get these 13 points, but also for his opponent to waste a move. This was only possible if Red had the quadruple city tile right there, right now in hand, which was a 1 in 3 chance, and Green recognized and took it. The forced quadruple city tile is a well-known tactical motif by competitive Carcassonne players, but it occurs extremely rarely in real life, and even when it does, the resulting forced move is typically worth only a few negative points, not enough to change the outcome of the game. But when this tactic forces your opponent to finish a huge city, and when the only option for you to win is to force your opponent to put this tile into the square rather than to put it yourself, and as a result you win by 1 point, and it happens not in a casual game but the World Championship playoffs, I had never seen that before, and I don't think I ever will again. Which is why the seemingly silly city splitter move that started setting up this whole quadruple city idea over 10 moves before it actually occurred is this week's Carcassonne move of the week. Meeple the like button if you enjoyed this video and subscribe for more competitive Carcassonne content like this. And of course, if you're following the World Cup of Carcassonne and you see a move that you believe deserves a spot in the Carcassonne Move of the Week segment, do let me know by sending me a link to the game and the move number. You can do so through this YouTube channel's email address or by messaging me directly on Board Game Arena. Thank you so much for watching, and I'm gonna see you soon.